Learn from my mistakes. Always be aware of your surroundings. What's going on YouTube? John and Tony here, flying the Freewing F-15 90mm. This is a beautiful model. You guys have seen me fly it a few times before. This is, actually I used to live at Eglin Air Force Base, right outside of it anyway. So this jet means a lot to me because I've actually physically been to this particular jet, or at least the same paint scheme on it, over at the U.S. Air Force Armament Museum. And oh, look at that little piece is coming off. The Air Force Armament Museum in, what is it? I think it's in Fort Walton Beach. So to me, this jet has a lot of meaning. I don't want to destroy it by any stretch. If I have to get another one, I will. This is one of the anniversary presents my wife gave me last year. So I'd like to keep it in good shape. However, to do that is going to require me not to lift that canopy until I put a battery in. Yep, there it goes. Good shape, huh? It'll be fine. It's not going to hurt nothing just by falling on its tail like that. Those of you guys who don't know, this uses a 10-channel Spectrum receiver. This gives me the ability to custom sequence the gear doors. So both of those are custom sequenced. I took out the landing gear sequencer because to me it's just kind of useless. I don't like how long it takes for the landing gear to pull up. Unfortunately, space is at a premium in this jet. There's only a few places for the battery to go. So you can't really shove it any further back than it's gone. So the jet's going to be slightly nose heavy by default, but we're going to make up for that with massive throws on the stabilators in the back. And we should be able to get some pretty cool looking maneuvers out of it. Maybe some more aerobatic stuff rather than just crazy stuff. You guys know me more for like extreme aerobatics, where I'm not really doing anything planned, like freestyle XA flying, I think it's called. That's what I really enjoy, but you know what? Sometimes it's cool to step back and just let the plane do some classic maneuvers too. So let's take it up and do some of that. We don't have an air brake in this. Mine started, like the worm screw on mine started kind of like giving up. So it's in there, but it doesn't do anything. One of these days I might get around to making it so they can fully deploy but for now we're not going to worry about it.
Throttle cut, gear up, gear down.
Okay, that's right.
Throttle open.
I thought I had the gear, what do you call that? The mechanism in my radio to keep the gear from coming up so I could test the rates on the ground. So we don't have that, but these are gear-based rates. So we have 150 when the gear are up. Sorry about the rooster, he doesn't want to shut up. We have 150% rates when the gear are up, and on the ground we've got 70%, but because they're Elevon style mixing, you get 150 when you move the stick all the way. So there's a lot of cool stuff going on with this jet.
Flaps 50.
We're gonna drop flaps. We've got the 5280 RC afterburner system in here too. Big thanks to Larry for sending that. If you guys want to get one for yourself, they're not very expensive. At 5280rc.com. Let's get her up and have some fun.
24.71 volts. Flaps gear up.
Let's be a little gentle with her today. You can see she's getting beat up by turbulence up there. Pull her up and do a half loop. Still using the default 1900 kV Freewing motor in this bird. I would like to use the FMS 1950 that comes into the FMS/E-Flight Viper. Go up and tail slide. Well, we can do that better. We'll do another one in a minute. Full loop.
1 minute, 22.55 volts.
She's getting real beat up by the wind today. But that's what the throttle base gains are for. It kind of helps dampen out some of that movement. We're actually going to test out the flap-based gyro this time around. It used to be gear-based, now it's flap-based, so the gyro doesn't come into full effect until the flaps are deployed. I bet it's going to wobble like crazy if I drop them right now.
Full flaps.
Maybe not.
22.74 volts.
Bring her in for a slow pass.
Flaps up.
There's absolutely no stabilization on the ailerons. It's all on the stabilators. Bring her up and make her do a flat spin if we can. Nah, I don't feel it. We don't have enough altitude.
21.92 minutes.
Don't get a whole lot of flight time out of these ducted fans, guys.
22.11. Stabilators
There we
6
go. A
up.
little bit of trim in this wind. You have to take that trim out later.
Gear down.
Drop the gear. Nice thing is, because we're out of our gear-based rates, I can land without the, or not gear-based rates, gear-based gains. I can land without crazy stabilization if I want to. This is not a stabilized approach. We're going to go around.
Gear up.
See how quick those landing gear come up? That's from custom sequencing. You can see, well, I don't think I showed it in the F-15 setup because I did that recently.
.16 volt. Gear
Plenty
down.
of power. Let's go ahead and get a stabilized approach this time around. That thing sounds amazing. It almost sounds like a turbine in the distance. Like distant thunder.
Full flaps.
There we go. A lot of turbulence right now. Just getting walked like crazy.
3 minutes. Air brake extended.
There we go. I will take, like I said, any landing I can get in these winds, even if it's not great.
22.72. Air brake
I'm not going to make the same mistake I made with the F-14, which is constantly going around hunting for the perfect landing. That's just, that was stupidity on my part, doing that. But this time around, you know, we got the jet home safely, got to do some cool aerobatics with it. Nothing too crazy in this wind, because again, I want to make sure it's going to go where I want it to go. So I'm happy with it. I love this model. I can't wait to spend some time to really rejig the internals and get the FMS motor in there to lighten some of the wing loading on it. But she's beautiful. Absolutely love getting to rep Eglin Air Force Base. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll come back with her in a little bit. Taking up the Freewing F-15,
Flaps 50.
90 millimeter. Gonna get a good shot with Tony right there.
Flaps up. Gear up.
Realized I didn't put the afterburner on, so we're gonna turn around and land real quick, especially in this low headwind that we got.
Full flaps.
Terrible landing, am I right? Terrible, terrible.
Flaps up.
But it's got really good gear, so it can take it. That's, you know, we'll call that a a obvious mistake on my part, but at least shows you the durability of the gear. So we're going to taxi her back down there. We're going to take off again, and I'm going to connect the damned afterburner to it. As Scotty said in Star Trek 2, or was it 3, the more they add, the easier it is to gum up the works. There we go. I think that's when they were stealing the Enterprise out of space dock. Perfect. Still got plenty of power. Okay, I'm gonna turn around before that mud down there. I want to clean that stuff out of the wheels. There we go.
Flaps 50.
Much better. A little turbulent out here still. Very agile with those high-tech D85 servos and the stabs. Really helps it get around. Tony's walking back. I gotta keep an eye on where he's at. An insane roll rate. I can't even turn off the tailerons if I even wanted to, because I have the they're only stabilizing at this point. They're the only thing stabilizing, so that the there's no way to turn them off, because that's the aircraft type that I've set up in the Spectrum. Get a proper tail slide now. That was pretty good. Heavy bird, man. That 1900 kV motor is not light.
Gear down.
Let's drop the gear, get some touch and goes in. You guys can see how to land this jet.
Full flaps, 2 minutes.
Especially in turbulence. A lot of turbulence.
Flaps up, gear up.
Get a readout on the
21
voltage.
21.57 volts.
Ah, plenty of power. That's under load. Let's get the inverted performance again. Check the CG. Definitely on the nose heavier side of things. I gotta admit though, that 9-blade Freewing motor doesn't sound half bad. It's just heavy.
Gear down.
And the FMS motor puts out as much thrust and it weighs like 150 grams less or something like that. Dang, that thing is getting brocked. There we go. Now it's stabilizing.
22.75 volts. Flaps up, gear up.
That afterburner from Larry, 5280 RC, you guys have to get yourself one of them. They're so cheap and they look so good, man. And they're really easy to set up and install. Setup time for this plane was total like 5 minutes. Most of that was just taking apart the motor and just getting things wired through it.
Gear down.
Dropping the gear. Actually, we'll pull them back up and then we'll drop them so you guys can see the landing light come out.
Gear down.
There we go.
22.2 volts. Full flaps.
Full flaps coming in. A little bit of a ballooning issue with it. Going around.
Flaps 50.
Definitely,
Flight pack 21.2 volts.
definitely feel the motor starting to let up a bit. Got to be careful here. We don't want to run to LVC. We'll be fine though. I got like 2 or 3 more go-arounds left as long as I goose the throttle just right.
Full flaps.
Talk to me, goose. All right, here we go. Got it, got it. Turbulence, turbulence. Definitely a rough landing, man, but like I'll take that flare and the ability to get it down safe every time over smashing it into the ground.
4 minutes.
Beautiful model. Really, really one of the best looking Freewing models ever made. All right, here we go. Take it off. Half flaps. Couldn't quite get what I was looking for. I was trying to get it to stay above the grass or the taxiway. Watching Tony fly my A-10 earlier. I'm gonna try some of the moves that he does. So roll over.
1 minute, 23.3.
Not as smooth as he is on the sticks. The man has way more simulator practice than I do on a lot of this stuff. Pointing the nose down with rudder a little bit. Have her fly past nice and slow. Hope I didn't get too close to you there, bud. May have to increase the gains on the stabilizer. The jet does feel a little slippery. Golly, those afterburners look amazing. Thank you so much, Larry. Full throttle climb. Tail slide right over itself. Let's do a full speed pass right above the ground. But we gotta, to do that, we need to go ahead and go over and above.
20, flight pack 21.41
Build up some inertia
volts.
here.
Flight pack 21.33 volts. Flight pack 21.24 volts.
That could have been better. Let's do that again. Get another full speed pass going. Check the voltage. We're gonna run it down quick.
22.18 volts.
We're gonna use another battery pack right after this. So why not just get it to go good. Send it, full send, pull over,
Flight pack
full throttle.
21.41 volts.
Right above the taxiway.
Flight pack 21.27 volts. Flight pack 21.08 volts.
I don't want to hear that this jet is slow, guys. It really hauls some serious butt. We need to get the GPS in here one of these days and see how fast it really is.
It's 22.13 volts.
All right, what we're gonna do is go up.
Gear down.
Drop the gear.
Full flaps.
come into the flaps, and just go straight down into a headwind. I wish that rooster would stop crowing. A little rough landing. We're gonna taxi her back, pop another battery in,
Flaps up.
and hopefully get the takeoff to look better this time around.
22.68 volts.
Maybe those stabs will act as some good air brakes for it. There we go, turn her around. Yeah, it's definitely a very agile jet, especially when you're using the stabilators as roll like this. In addition to pitch, you really get fighter jet feel. I don't know if the full-scale F-15 really uses them like that, but in model scale, I don't care. I'm gonna make them do it. All right, let's hot swap.
22.7 volts.
I'm gonna check the voltage real quick, make sure this battery, this 5,000 pack's good to go because I need to burn through some packs. Yep, this one's brand new. Let's take a 5,000 pack, just hot swap, get her right back up. Maybe do some slower maneuvers with it, maybe some point rolls. It's a little slippery feeling, so it's harder to do some of that stuff with this jet, mostly because the gains aren't completely jacked up. So I think off camera here in a second, we're gonna go ahead and adjust the gains on roll so it kind of locks itself in place after every move. The full-scale F-15 uses a flight computer. I'm gonna make mine do it too. I don't really mind having a gyro help fly the plane a little bit. In fact, if I can make it look better with a gyro, I'm gonna do it. Okay guys, we'll be right back. All right guys, we're back with the F-15. I went ahead and I adjusted the gains on the gyro. They were so low, it was basically non-existent, which is why the jet was flying a little wonky in all flight modes.
Flaps 50.
Let's see how she does now.
Flaps up.
Much better feeling so far. I can feel it on takeoff. We're on a 5050C Smart Pack right now, by the way, 6 cell.
2.42 volts.
I've already read that these aren't really all that great.
Gear down.
Put the gear out,
Gear up.
pull them back up. The gear door didn't got caught on something. Let's bring her back for another low pass. Make sure the gear door is out.
Gear
Drop the
down.
gear one more time. Let it cycle all the way. I think with the airspeed it was hitting on the full takeoff kept the door from
Gear up.
closing. Yeah, it feels much more planted in the sky now. A little wobbly on the roll.
22.2 volts. 5 minutes.
Using a little bit of rudder to kick the nose around. I gotta turn the roll slider down just a little bit. Winds are starting to really kick up. Looks like the nose door isn't quite all the way up. We'll deal with it for now. Let's see if we can make this jet do a Cobra maneuver. Get up nice and high in case something weird happens. Okay, straight over and pull back. Not halfway bad. I'd say it's decent. Haven't done a flat spin yet.
Flight pack 21.34 volts. 270.3 feet.
Okay, we need to get some more altitude so we can get a nice long one.
21.19 volts.
I know, we're on a 5,000 pack and we can't sustain this level of discharge. I'm gonna
21.8 volts.
pull over.
Flight pack 21.24.
Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. That was moments from disaster.
Flight pack
Tony's over there shaking his
21.38
head
volts.
at me hardcore. God, I'm stupid. That was 99% pilot error.
21 point. Flight pack
Okay.
21.45 volts.
Getting my gear down.
Gear down.
That's the first time I've made a serious, crazy mistake like that in a long time. I'm just so happy that I
Flight pack
didn't hit those trees because I would have been going home
volts.
without my anniversary F-15. Oh my gosh, my heart is
Full
racing.
flaps.
I'm glad that he's still shaking his head at me. I don't blame him. That was a really dumb move on my part. All right, let's make sure we don't screw up on our victory lap here of stupidity.
21.9 volts.
I could have gone around.
Flaps
I
up.
said screw it. Oh my God. Whew. My mind's blown, man. Completely blown. I don't know how that survived. Did you catch all that? Over there nodding at me. Oh my God. That was moments before disaster. If we had an onboard camera on there, I guarantee that I almost hit those pine trees next to the hangars.
22.65
I think you almost hit the hanger.
I almost did, yeah. And this is one of the reasons why I say fly with as much throw as you can get. If I had only been limited to this much throw on the elevator, like some people fly with, I would have lost it. There's no way I could have gotten it out of that. The way it pitched around and pulled out and rolled around it, you can't do that unless you have throws, guys. Having a closer to neutral CG and having all the throw, this is my limited throw right here too. This is only landing throw. If I was in my full rates, and I was because my gear were up, I had nothing to worry about. This is why I also don't do flat spins with proximity to buildings and trees, precisely for this reason. When it comes out, depending on the jet, some of them come out instantly. Some of them, like this one, are a little heavier and they don't want to come out, and you got to really work them. It's also why I throttle up as I'm pointing away from stuff, but as it still had angular momentum and it went right to the hangars. So could have been bad, really bad, but through skill and sheer absolute luck, probably 80% luck, 20% skill, I saved it. So I'm gonna call it quits on this jet for now. He's giggling right now, he's trying to hold it back. But thanks for watching, guys. Feel free to call me out in the comments. That was dumb. I'll do it myself and say it. That was really dumb. Don't do what I just did. See you guys next time.